Welcome to my first video preparing for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I want to first say that Diablo 2 was a game that defined my childhood. I've spent countless hours on this game doing both PvE and PvP. With these videos, I'm hoping to impart some help to people getting into the game for the first time, or those that just need a refresher on all you can do in the game. With that, let's jump into it. In my opinion, the Sorceress is going to be one of the best, if not the best class to start with in D2 Resurrected. Abilities like Teleport, Static Field, and Warmth are incredibly powerful. Pair these abilities with some of the early and mid-level rune words, and you can clear content faster than any other class. This also allows the Sorceress to be one of the best magic find classes in the game. In the early game, I highly recommend going Lightning skills. This gives you access to Charged Bolt, which is incredible for AoE damage in the early game. At level 6, you get one of the most powerful abilities in the game, Static Field. Static Field does 25% of a monster's current health total. This includes bosses. If a boss is at 100% health, it will drop them to 75%. From 75%, down to 56.25% and so on. As the monsters get to lower health, Static Field will of course be doing less and less damage, but is by far the most damaging ability for getting bosses to low health. At level 18, you get the best movement ability in the game, Teleport. As an honorable mention, Warmth is a very powerful skill to get 1 point into for its increased mana generation. Now that we have your early game skills out of the way, let's look at the stats for a Sorceress. It is very common to hold your stat points for the first few levels until you know what you need them for. Some gear will require strength and dexterity to equip. In the early game, you only want to spend the bare minimum to be able to equip your items. For health and mana, I normally invest heavily into Vitality and rely on mana potions. 1 point into Vitality gives only 2 HP for a Sorceress. 1 point into Energy also gives 2 mana to the Sorceress. The only time you want to invest incredibly heavily into Energy is when utilizing Energy Shield, which I will cover in a future video. For early game and for PvE, it is perfectly okay to dump almost all of your stat points into Vitality. Finally, let's get into some of the early game rune words that you should be trying to get. Rune words are incredibly powerful and are nearly a guaranteed way of getting gear. As a reminder, only normal and superior items can be turned into rune words. I highly recommend constantly checking Akara and Charsi for items that you can turn into rune words. Also, be on the lookout for socketed items that may drop from monsters. The first rune word I recommend is one that literally every class wants to make. That is the Stealth Body Armor. This rune word is absolutely insane for only requiring level 17 to use, giving the user 25% faster cast rate, run walk speed, and faster hit recovery. Add in some dexterity, poison resist, and stamina, you have yourself an amazing item. The next rune word that is incredibly powerful and is only required level 19 is the Leaf. I can't stress enough how insane this rune word is for its level. Giving +3 to all fire skills, +3 to warmth, +3 to firebolt, and mana after kill is absolutely insane. Now, you're going to want to try to find a 2-socket staff that has useful plus skills on it. Any of the skills I mentioned previously in the video are all great choices. If you want to go fire for your skills in the early game, this staff is a great choice to help increase your damage. When you get into the mid to late 20s, you gain access to a few incredibly powerful rune words. First is the Spirit Sword. Now, this rune word used to be a ladder-only rune word, but Blizzard has announced that it will now be able to be made on non-ladder. This is true with all ladder rune words as well as ladder-only recipes. All of them will now be able to be made on non-ladder. This is an amazing option if you want to swap from using a staff to also have a shield. You can put it into a crystal sword or broadsword, and it is usable at level 25. Plus 2 to all skills, 25 to 35% faster caster rate, and 55% faster hit recovery make it an absolute monster item even into the higher levels. Not to mention the vitality and increased mana it gives. Next, we have one of the best mercenary weapons in the game, Insight. This rune word can be put into staves and polearms, and has a level requirement of only 27. It is highly recommended that you give this to your Act 2 mercenary. Everything about this rune word is insane for a mercenary. Most importantly, the meditation aura it provides will give you nearly infinite mana while under its effect. The last rune word I would highly recommend making is Lore Helm. It is a solid rune word that gives +1 to all skills, energy, lightning resist, and mana after kill. I hope these tips make your starting experience with the Sorceress not only more effective, but also more fun. If you have any questions about the Sorceress, feel free to drop a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I love Diablo 2 and will be putting out numerous guides in the future. You can also catch me on Twitch almost every day at twitch.tv/D2 LOD. See you next time!